Most people think they know Las Vegas. Bright lights, casinos, expensive restaurants, people gambling around the clock. Like a lot of Southern Californians, I thought I knew Las Vegas before we moved here, but I was wrong.
And on our very first date, when Bill told me he loved coming here, I was so shocked that my New York accent came out. And I said, "You like Vegas?" I couldn't believe it. My first trips here were for conventions, and I hated it.
We laugh about that now, especially since it was Ellen's idea to move here.
It actually was my idea to move here, and we've lived here for more than 25 years.
I thought of Las Vegas as my fun weekend getaway place. All it took was a 1 hour flight or a 4 hour drive, and I could live like a king for a weekend. All of that without breaking the bank.
We were both wrong about a lot, and we learned that the Las Vegas that visitors see is only a really small part of the city.
If you're planning a trip here, or even if you visited before, here are the things that we think surprise visitors the most.
Most people don't live on or even near the strip. I still remember when we told people we bought a house here. Our family and friends were shocked to learn that Las Vegas has beautiful suburbs. When I'd hear that, I'd joke that people live in tents behind casinos and that we had purchased a lovely tent.
It was a lovely tent.
It was.
Seeing the looks on their faces when Ellen made that joke was priceless. Still, we could afford a beautiful house here, and we couldn't afford much more than a small condo in the Los Angeles area.
One of the things we love about Las Vegas is that it keeps reinventing itself. When we moved here over 25 years ago, there were no major league sports.
And when I said I thought we would do well with Major League Sports, people laughed at the idea and just said that they didn't think we were big enough.
They were wrong. Today, the city has become a major sports and entertainment destination.
And by the end of this decade, we'll have teams in all four major men's sports, and we've had a WNBA team for years.
Only a handful of metropolitan areas can actually say that. We also have smaller arenas in the suburbs where minor league teams play, and tickets for minor league and UNLV sports can be extremely affordable.
Now, Las Vegas has one of the best Chinatowns in the country, but it isn't a historic neighborhood. It's a modern district that only dates back to the 1990s. When people hear Las Vegas as a Chinatown, they often compare it to the ones in, well, New York and San Francisco.
I did it first too, but I was wrong. Those neighborhoods developed over generations as immigrant communities. Las Vegas's Chinatown is different.
The district along Spring Mountain Road has become one of the best places in the United States to experience authentic Pan-Asian cuisine. There are restaurants, markets, businesses representing numerous different Asian cultures, even though the area itself is still just called Chinatown.
Many visitors don't even know it's there, even though it's just a couple of miles from the strip. Here you'll see local families, and because hospitality workers like to go there after their shifts, many restaurants are open late. It feels like a neighborhood people actually use, and it's surprisingly unpretentious.
Now, it's worth exploring on your own, but we have some personal favorites that we're going to talk about in another video.
I think Chinatown says something really important about Las Vegas itself. The city isn't just a tourist destination anymore. Visitors and locals can enjoy food here that rivals what they'd find in much larger metropolitan areas.
Speaking of food, Las Vegas has become home to talented chefs and entrepreneurs from all over, and they've created an incredibly diverse dining scene. Many people don't realize that some of the best restaurants aren't even on the Strip. We have neighborhood restaurants from James Beard award-winning chefs and James Beard nominated chefs,
And ones that are routinely featured on the Food Network.
and chefs that have competed and done well on cooking competition shows as big as Top Chef.
Some of our favorite meals in Las Vegas have been in neighborhood restaurants owned and operated by these chefs, and they often cost less than half of what a comparable dinner would cost on the Strip. There's so much to discuss about the Las Vegas food scene that we're planning a future video just about neighborhood restaurants.
And you don't need to gamble to have a fun time here.
Shopping, day clubs and spas, nature, museums, sports, food, and shows can fill an entire trip. And just walking around can be very entertaining. Some of our favorites include the Bellagio fountains and their conservatory.
And as you walk on the Las Vegas Strip, you need to be mindful of two things. First, each of the major avenues that cross the Strip are about a mile apart. The hotels are designed to look not as massive as they actually are. And if you take a close look at most of the resorts, you'll see what looks like a window with 4 panes, but it's often actually 4 rooms on 2 floors, This throws off your perspective and it just makes distances feel, well, a lot smaller than they actually are.
Second, even when it's not blazing hot outside,
But especially when it is blazing hot outside.
remember that we're in the desert and you need to stay hydrated.
It's a desert out there.
It is. Always carry water with you and drink it, whether you're walking around the Strip or anywhere else in the valley.
Las Vegas has incredible natural beauty, and there really is something for everyone. While many people have heard of Red Rock National Conservation Area, they don't know that reservations are actually needed from October 1st through the end of May. And unless they're avid rock climbers, they may not know that the park is actually really well known for having some of the best mountain climbing in the country.
Yes, we know people who come here from all over the world just to go mountain climbing. Surprisingly, there are also wetlands areas. I enjoy going for walks in them. You'd never know you're in the desert or in a major metropolitan area.
And a related surprise here is that you can actually go skiing. Mount Charleston's Lee Canyon ski area is maybe 35 miles northwest of Las Vegas, and it does offer skiing every winter.
People are surprised to learn we have real winters here.
Well, we woke up one morning to a snowy backyard.
It was so unusual that we turned a photo of it into our holiday card that year, and I can tell you it made a huge impression. Now, we were also surprised to discover that Las Vegas has world-class museums. The Neon Museum is especially meaningful to me. Not only do they preserve iconic Las Vegas signs, they also preserve the stories behind them. I've been honored to have some of my own stories included in their archives. One of the things I love most is that they invite everyone to become part of Las Vegas history. They have a booth in the lobby where visitors can record their own Las Vegas memories. And if you have historically significant Las Vegas artifacts, the museum even accepts donations for its collection.
Now, other noteworthy museums include the National Atomic Testing Museum. Remember, the National Atomic Test Site was just outside of Las Vegas. And we also have the Mob Museum, and you may have heard of that, but you might not know that the actual wall from the St. Valentine's Day Massacre is there. And they also have home movies that were personally filmed by Al Capone.
When I was there, I was fortunate to hear a talk by Frank Caprese Jr., who had been in the mob and told his fascinating story.
Las Vegas can be more affordable than many visitors expect if you plan carefully. We've seen lots of complaints on the internet about the resort fees, and I completely agree. They generally don't add anything of value for that fee. But just look at the bottom line total. With or without resort fees, you can often stay at a fantastic resort here for less than $200 a night, or actually a pretty fine one for less than $100 a night. Try that anywhere else in the world.
That said, there are some properties that are known for affordable rooms and dining, as well as amenities such as bowling, movies, showrooms, and even equestrian events.
One example is the South Point. It's a hidden gem that, well, it shocked us by the size and scope of the Equestrian Center. We were surprised to learn that you can almost always go in and see a live horse show or practice for free.
Even if you're not staying there. Now, when people think of Las Vegas entertainment, they immediately think of high-end performances at venues like the Sphere or the Caesars Palace Coliseum. Truth be told, you can enjoy live entertainment without spending a fortune.
There's plenty of free entertainment in downtown Las Vegas, especially at the Fremont Street Experience. They have free live concerts every night except New Year's Eve. And even if you haven't heard of the bands, you never know when you're going to see an act before they become famous. A lot of people think Las Vegas is where old acts come to finish their careers, and that was certainly true back in the old days. But you may be surprised to hear that some big stars, such as the Killers, Imagine Dragons, and Panic at the Disco, all got their start right here in Las Vegas.
And some of the shows that have been here for years have excellent value pricing. Cirque du Soleil has wonderful acrobats and stunning shows in custom-built theaters. Through the years, we've seen most of them, and they've been fabulous. You can get deals on advance tickets through their website. We've included a link to that in the description.
And there's also superstars, and you must know this, people like Lady Gaga, who are current superstars who do residencies here. You too has spent a lot of time here also. One word of caution, do your homework before buying tickets. Sometimes the best deal is from the show itself. Sometimes it's from another source. Don't be afraid to shop around. This way you'll know you're getting a good deal.
When we moved here, I didn't realize we were in driving distance to some of the most beautiful national parks and a natural wonder of the world And I'm guessing that many people don't know that either.
We mentioned some of the great natural attractions here in the Las Vegas area earlier in this video, but we're actually just 160 miles roughly away from Zion National Park in Utah. It's only about a 2.5 to 3 hour drive.
Then another 100 miles north, you'll get to Bryce Canyon, which is also a beautiful, beautiful national park.
Yeah, they're both gorgeous.
And if you have the time, they're both well worth visiting.
And speaking of gorgeous, the Grand Canyon South Rim is 280 miles from Las Vegas. Driving there is typically about 4.5 hours, and it's so worth it. If you haven't been there, it's really a must-see. I think it's my personal favorite as far as national parks go. I've been there 3 times, and I can't wait to go back. Descriptions really don't do it justice, and neither do photos, but photos will help a little bit.
Las Vegas is so much more than casinos. If you've only seen the Strip, you've only seen one small part of what makes the city so special.
Now, we were wrong about Las Vegas, but we're glad we were wrong. And if you found today's video helpful, we'd really appreciate it if you'd give it a like, share it with someone who enjoys traveling, and please subscribe to our channel. It really does help the channel grow when you subscribe to it.
And now we'd like to hear from you. How have you been surprised by Las Vegas? Please tell us in the comments.
We're always interested in hearing other people's personal experiences too.
Better living starts now.
See you next time.